Good morning, everybody. It is meteorologist and weather forecast here, and welcome back to another live stream, guys. I know it's been actually a very long time since I've streamed, but I was actually going to stream yesterday, but I just didn't have time. But I am going to be streaming today, guys, and I hope you guys are excited about this. Let me just make sure we are streaming here. I believe so. Let's see. Yeah, we are streaming. So, okay, yeah, we are streaming. So, guys, welcome to the stream here. We're going to be focusing on Hurricane Dorian right now. Again, it's not going to be an incredibly long stream. Um, so, we are going to be focusing on Hurricane Dorian here. It actually has gone down to a Category 4 hurricane. So, again, it's not a Category 5. But, again, guys, we are going to be focusing on Hurricane Dorian, and then I know it's been a very long time since I've streamed and all that. Let me know if the audio is working, guys. Let me know if the audio is good right now, because I just want to make sure the audio is good right before we continue on. So just let me know if the audio is good and all that. I hope it's good, guys. And I just want to make sure before we go ahead. But if it is, then great. So, guys, we're going to be focusing for maybe like 40, in between 40 and an hour. We're going to be focusing here on Hurricane Dorian. We're going to be going through the new updates here. We're going to be looking at the National Hurricane Center here. We're going to be looking at the GFS radar and all that. So that's basically what we're going to be doing. So we're going to be looking at the National Weather Service right now, which is for active alerts. And we actually have a lot of new updates here. We actually do, again, have hurricane warnings off the coast of Florida here for parts of West Palm Bay in those areas. Or actually, sorry, north of West Palm Bay there. We do have hurricane warnings in effect for those areas. We also do have tropical storm warnings becoming more widespread for northern and southern Florida. They are becoming a bit more widespread, so that is not too good. And then we also do have storm surge hurricane watches in effect off the coast of Florida and Georgia. We are seeing these advisories and warnings becoming a bit more widespread, and we're also seeing these tropical storm watches become more widespread also into central Florida there. So if you guys all in Orlando, you guys can also have some threats with Hurricane Dorian. And then we also have flash flood warnings and watches in effect. And these, if you guys want to look at the colors in the light blue there, we have flash flood warnings, and in the darken we have flash flood watches. So now we looked at that. We're going to be looking at the 5-day graphical tropical weather outlook for right now. And again, we have a lot of systems right here, guys, but we're going to be focusing again on Dorian. Again, it is a category 4, so it has weakened it's stalled right now. It's actually moving at 1 mile per hour to the west, so it's basically stalled right now. It's basically somewhat stopped in its track, which will be actually incredibly dangerous. It's been a very long time. I don't think ever really seen such a strong storm staying in the area for so long and stalling like this at like 1 mile per hour, guys. If somebody can walk faster than this system here, and that's, again, it's at a maximum sustained winds at 135 knots here and at 155 miles per hour. So again, it is a category 4. So again, it is continuing the weekend. Earlier this morning it was at 185, but it has weakened now because it has been over the Bahamas. Again, we've had huge issues, and the Grand Bahama Islands are going to get really hit right now as they've gone through the eye this morning. Let me read some questions here. Can Dorian hit the northeast? Dorian is most likely not going to hit the northeast. Really, it's most likely going to go around the Carolinas, Virginia, and spill out all the way over here. I really don't think it's going to go like that. I really don't think it's going to the northeast, but it's really focusing on going right here through Florida, the Carolinas, and then I think it's going to go out like this. So I want to say no, because I think you guys can possibly maybe have some light rain with this system, but it shouldn't really be that bad. It went down as a Cat 4. Yes, it has. So again, we have minimum central pressure has gone up now. Earlier it was at 910 millibars, but now it's at 922 millibars. So it's still very organized. But again, the pressure is going up, the winds are going down. But again, it's still going to be a huge major hurricane as it goes into close to the Florida coast. And it's going to be a very close call right now. We're going to be looking at the satellite imagery right now. And this is actually very, very impressive right now. Here we have this huge system. Let me get right here. They think it's going to turn north. Yes, it's going to be turning north. It's actually turning north right now. If you look at it, it's very, here's the eye right here. It's moving again at 1 miles per hour to the west. So again, it is heading towards the direction of Florida, but in an incredibly slow rate. Again, it's even hitting parts of the central Bahamas Islands here. It affected, it's actually hitting the Grand Bahama Islands right now. It's hitting areas out there into Florida. You guys are going to start to have some wind gusts up there into 25 miles per hour, maybe even 35. It's going to be crazy. And look how close it is to Florida, but it's moving at 1 miles per hour, and it's starting to take a little turn to the north now. It should be moving west northwest very soon. And look at the eye. The eye has just gone back into the Atlantic now. It's very uncertain exactly right now. Dorian has been very, very complicated with track systems. It has been ever since it's formed a true tropical storm. It's just been very iffy. But right now, we already know it's going to be taking a north turn no matter what. The thing is, if it's going to hit these areas, if it's going to hit Nassau, Florida, if it's going to hit West Palm Bay, if it's going to hit other areas in Jacksonville. That's the issue we really need to really watch out with. But again, the cone is just left the Grand Bahama Island right now. It is going out now closer into the Florida area. Again, East Florida is getting affected by the outer bands. They have been getting a lot of winds right now, or a lot of winds going up to possibly gusting to 35 miles per hour. We've seen 4 to 6 feet waves. It's getting really, really crazy. It's crazy even because it's on low tide too, guys. And also Florida, Georgia, South Carolina have all been doing evacuations in these areas, especially right here near Melbourne. We've actually had a lot of evacuations this morning at 8 in the morning. Do you think it will make landfall on Long Island as a Category 1? No, that's very unlikely. So again, it is actually getting a lot bigger in size, and it will start to get smaller in size as it go up the Jacksonville area. And as you can tell, the eye is actually very wobbly right now. It is getting very wobbly. This eye is starting to maybe do like a little wobble. So that's also something we need to watch out for. Most of the times when an eye starts to wobble a little bit, it's not that important. But at this point, it really is important because it can, if it wobbles to the north, that means it will completely miss Florida. But if it wobbles a bit more to the west, that's where we also have to watch out with this. And again, we have to mention the vorticity here. Again, that is rotation. Think about it as a tornado. If the cold and warm air is starting to mix with each other, that's basically what we are seeing here. So again, guys, this is what the satellite imagery is. So let me look at the live chat right now. Hi Isaac. Hi Brenda. So let's see. Yeah. Are we getting an early foliage in the northeast? It's possible. It's very possible. Also be sure to like this stream, guys. It really means a lot. So now we looked at that. We're going to be looking at the cone and timing here. And this is the really uncertainty really with the cone. Right now we're kind of seeing the tracks. We're going to be looking at tracks very soon. We're kind of seeing the tracks really pushing a bit more to the west now. So that's why we also have this threat for Florida. So again, here we have this yellow right. Let me actually use the black color because that's not going to work. So here we again have these tropical storm force winds in this little orange color. And it's extended about 120 miles away from the 120 miles away from the tropical or from the eye. So it's really widespread. The tropical storm force winds are getting very, very close to the Florida coast. We shouldn't really see the tropical storm force winds until maybe early tomorrow. We still have these hurricane warnings in effect for the Bahamas right there. Freeport. We have a lot heading in towards the Florida coast now. Melbourne. We have possibly all the way into West Palm Bay. This is where we have hurricane warnings in effect now. It's going to be very, very huge threat. If you're in a hurricane warning, you guys must be prepared now. We've actually had we've had evacuations in that area already that are in the hurricane warnings and off the east coast there. But again, if you're Daytona, if you're in Merritt Beach or Merritt Island, you guys will also have some very huge threats there. All the way to the Palm Coast, you guys will have very huge threats, yo. Oh, Gavin says, yo, possibly making landfall on Long Island. It's very, very, uh, it's very, very, unlikely, but it actually could. It could potentially hit Long Island. I know it's showing here, but that's the cone. It could actually go like this. So I think we'll have maybe very low tropical storm force winds. Because based on this, the eye's gonna go like this. That's what I was talking about earlier when you asked that. The eye's gonna go like this. The cone is the end of the cone's on Long Island, but again, it does stretch about like very, very far out from the eye. So I think if you will get affected, it could be incredibly weak. I really don't think you could expect hurricane force winds. Maybe some tropical storm force winds, maybe 30 to 40 miles per hour. So that's what we're gonna have to wait. And again, it's very, very far from Long Island, so we're gonna have to wait a little bit. This hurricane hammered the Bahamas yesterday. It really, really did, and it's actually still hammering them right now. The Grand Bahama Islands got really, really wrecked today. Again, this is going to be slow, very, very, very slow moving. Again, it's moving at 1 miles per. It's moving at 1 mile per hour, guys. So it's incredibly slow. We can walk faster than the system. So all the way to the next 3 days, it's actually going to get incredibly close to Charleston and Myrtle Beach, guys. It's going to get incredibly close, and we've seen evacuations so far. Charleston, we've had a couple of evacuations. Same thing with the Myrtle Beach area. We're seeing some evacuations, and we're starting to see some right now in Savannah. Again, guys, we actually are also seeing hurricane watches becoming a bit more widespread into Georgia now. The Georgia governor just made a speech a couple of minutes ago, if you guys saw that. We also do have tropical storm watches in effect for Fort Lauderdale area, and then we have a small area there in the blue with the tropical storm warnings. So, guys, if you know any family members here, be sure to let them know. Be sure to share the stream. Hopefully, they are getting prepared again. There's many areas that really don't have any gas anymore, so that's also a huge issue right now. The gas is low, and if you have to, guys, just travel maybe to Tampa Bay, just travel to Naples, anywhere. It really. I was in the Bahamas 2 days ago, and we left yesterday just before Hurricane Dorian hit the islands. Oh my gosh, you are incredibly lucky, because boy oh boy, and it's made 3 landfalls. Not one, but not two, but 3 landfalls. In the Bahamas, but it's starting to leave the Bahamas right now. For the new people, we are starting to see it leave the Grand Bahama Islands. I mean but the eye wall is still to affect many areas. Again, it's moving at 1 miles per hour, so it's not going to be leaving. The eye walls won't be moving anytime away from this. At least we're gonna go get a lot of rain from Hurricane Dorian in southeast Tennessee. Yeah, but again, it's gonna be a lot of rain. But if you're closer to like the mountain areas, then yeah. But again, guys, we are starting to see a little wobble right here in the eye, and this again, it's very important. I'll talk about that again. Usually in hurricanes, it's not that important, but since it's such a big hurricane, the wobble and such a close call on Florida, the wobble is very important. We're gonna go back to here again. It's going to moving at 1 miles per hour to the west, so incredibly slow system again. And then within the next 4 to 5 days, we could have it go all the way out into the New England area. And then if we're going to be following this is where the eye is possibly to go. But again, the cone has been very uncertain, so we're just going to have to wait a little bit. And now we're going to be looking now at the let's see if this thing can load a little bit. We're going to be looking at the track guidance, and this is what's really important. Again, the track guidance is for the eye, not for the cone. So if you're wondering about Long Island, most of the models are swinging away from the Long Island. But again, like I said, you guys could see maybe 20 to 40 miles per hour wind gusts there. Again, the cone, or like I said, the models have been shifting to the west now. We have a couple more models swinging in a lot closer to Florida, and we're seeing hurricane force winds possibly 20 miles off the Florida coast there in the center. The dead center of the eye will be a couple miles away from the Florida coast, so we will be experiencing Category 1 force winds, possibly Category 2 force winds out there. But the closest call is going to be right here off the area of North Carolina. That's going to be the close call right here at past Wilmington, especially right here. So if you know anyone that lives out here, a couple miles west or east of Raleigh, anywhere there, we could have some issues, possibly having Category 1 or 2 force winds. Again, guys, it could potentially go, not even make landfall, it could just go like this. But again, it's still going to bring widespread flooding issues, which is a threat. And storm surge is one of the deadliest threats with hurricanes. It's usually not this. It's not only the winds, but it's the storm surge, which is usually the biggest threat for these systems. Dorian made a record for the strongest hurricane that hit the Bahamas. Yes, it did. It made the record for the biggest hurricane that ever hit the northern Bahamas. So my mom's actually calling me, but I hope she knows I'm doing something. But again, we do have this cone right here. You can be a couple hundred miles away from the cone. You could still experience tropical storm force winds. So it's without a doubt Georgia, Florida, the Carolinas. So you guys will be experiencing hurricane and tropical storm force winds. The winds were at 185 for the Bahamas. Yes, they were. It was really, really crazy. So again, it's actually a Category 4, but again, the model intensity guidance is always like the last to update, but it should update. Let's see if it actually updated right now. But everything else is updated. Okay, yeah, and it's like winds almost 190 miles per hour, like Allen. Yes, Allen was still one of the strongest in the Atlantic, so Dorian was getting pretty close there. At least it's possibly weakening from now on out, so we shouldn't see it go back to strengthening. We should just see it to continue to weaken as it goes closer to the coast of Florida. Again, it's going to be slow moving, incredibly slow moving, so that's why it should be weakening at a fast rate. So we should see it become a tropical storm within the next 108 hours, so we can have it from Category 4 to tropical storm very, very soon, guys. So now we looked at that. We're going to be looking at the winds here. Right here again, this is actually a little backed up. So this is what we're seeing right now. We are seeing incredibly strong winds, 131 knots again currently right now for areas to the Grand Bahama Island. We're seeing incredibly huge wind threats there, and even all the way into areas to the central islands of the Bahamas. You guys are going to be experiencing possibly 34 knots in these areas. So yeah, please take shelter. I know if you're in Florida, it's still not too late. We're going to be seeing tropical storm force winds very, very soon in these areas in the Florida coast there. Again, if you're in Freeport, you guys are going to be seeing incredibly strong winds right now. And again, guys, it's going to bring huge threats continuing on. Again, it's so slow moving. It's very dangerous because that's going to the slower moving it is, it's going to be increasing the damage, increasing the storm surge, and increasing the rain amount totals. Let me actually get this here. As we continue on, we should have it bring in again possibly Category 1 force winds out here for the areas of Melbourne to the coastal areas. It's going to bring in a lot of tropical storm force winds into the inland areas. And look, we're still going to be seeing possibly tropical storm force winds in the Bahamas all the way still until Wednesday. Again, it's still going to be slow moving. It will start to speed up a little bit, but again, it should get a bit stronger a little bit and then weaken. And then again, it's going to bring in for Charleston, Myrtle Beach. You guys will be seeing tropical storm force winds. Next advisory, intermediate advisory at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Next complete advisory at 5 p.m. I'm currently in Roswell, Georgia. Oh yeah, you guys wouldn't be seeing too much. You might see a couple gusts by Friday, but not incredibly bad. And then this is the threat here, North Carolina, right here. Right here on the coastal areas of North Carolina. This is where we have that threat for potential landfall. I think North Carolina will for sure start to have these evacuations for sure as we go. It's going to be close to New Bern, Havelock, North Carolina. If you guys are anywhere near even Greensville, you guys can be seeing incredibly strong or incredibly high threats for having a direct landfall. Look at this. We can have it make landfall as possibly a Category 3 hurricane on the islands of North Carolina and even Virginia Beach. You guys can potentially see tropical storm force winds. I'm just chilling in the high. Thankfully, no natural disasters happen here. Well, you don't have any natural disasters really in the winter or in the summer, but sometimes in the winter. But again, we will have this huge wind threats for North Carolina. If you know anyone anywhere in the East Coast, from Florida all the way to Virginia, if you know anyone that lives there on the coastal areas, not too far inland, but again coastal, then you might want to let them know. Maybe share the stream if they want to get some more information. But again, this is going to be more like an hour stream, really. So I don't know how much longer it's going to be, the stream. But I'm continuing to help you guys get your information you need and all that here. So we're gonna be looking at the radar here. Let me try to continue to move on here. But again, we are going to have incredibly, again, it's going to be weakening, or these central pressure will start to go up from now on, so the winds start to weaken. But as we continue on, it's going to be possibly by Wednesday moving a bit at a bit faster rate. So again, we just need to wait and see exactly what happens with the winds and exactly what's going to happen. It's just a matter of time to, again, Dorian was very, very complicated really on the tracks and all that, and with the basically where it's gonna go in the cone and all that. But right now we kind of have a good idea. It's gonna go up the east coast, and there's a very very good chance it makes landfall on the areas of Greenville, areas of the northern the northern coast of North Carolina. So again, we're gonna have huge threats out here for North Carolina. Again, guys, it's still gonna bring in a very huge threat for Florida, especially out there for if you're in Charleston, Myrtle Beach, all the way to Wilmington, and even Greenville, North Carolina. You guys will have huge threats from tropical storm force winds to possibly Category 2 force winds. And again, we're gonna be also keep on looking at this as we continue to go up the east coast. It will start to weaken a little bit, and the pressure will go up into a Category 1 force winds. So now we looked at that. We're gonna be looking at the rainfall totals here. Let's try to make this make it load a little bit. Gotta wait for this thing to load. Okay, so we are gonna be looking at the rainfall totals right now. So again, they are pretty high right now. They've been going up a lot for South Carolina. They've continued to go up. Again, the only areas that can see the most amount of rains out here into the areas of Melbourne, Florida. Those areas can see possibly about 4 to 5 inches. But it's right here in the coastal areas, all the way to Charleston to Greenville, all the way to Wilmington to these areas of North Carolina. So again, it's going to be a huge area up the coast that's going to bring this huge threat from Greenville, Wilson, Wilmington, Jacksonville, all these areas in North Carolina. You guys will be seeing a lot of rain. Not Jacksonville, Florida. I meant Jacksonville, North Carolina. So again, we will also see a very, very high amount of rain right here near Myrtle Beach. You guys will be seeing about 16 to 20 inches. So it's just a matter of time to wait. We're gonna see if we got any new advisories or any new warnings or anything. It does not look any different. We still have these tropical storm warnings out here for these areas near West Palm Bay becoming more widespread. And then we still have these hurricane warnings in effect for the eastern coast of Florida. So again, we have Melbourne. We have other areas out there in Florida that will be seeing some very, very strong winds. Again, the areas that can see Category 1 force winds, Merritt Island, Daytona Beach, all you guys could be seeing threats out there for hurricane and tropical storm force winds. We also been seeing tropical storm watches become a bit more widespread to Orlando. So even if you're all the way in Orlando, you guys still experience tropical storm force winds. Not most likely, not hurricane all the way into that inland areas, but again. And then we also are seeing again hurricane watches now off the coast of Georgia and Florida. And we have a lot of special weather statements out here for Georgia, Florida out here. All the way to Charleston, we have some kind of special weather statement out here. Hi, Dustin. Hi, Megan. 84 degrees and currently in Roswell. That's nice. So let's see. How long have we been streaming right now? Let me see how long we've been streaming. I might do like maybe an hour stream. Again, it's not gonna be too long because again, it is weakening. I'm only streaming because it's getting close to Florida and all that. But again, we actually we're going to be waiting to see exactly what, let's see, we've been streaming for about 23 minutes already. How are you? I'm doing great. So again, if you know any family members, anyone that is in the path of the system, go ahead and let them know. Tell them to look at the news and all that. We've had a lot of evacuations right here off into Florida and South Carolina. We've had a lot of evacuations this morning at 8 and 9. I'm actually going to be focusing a little bit more on Dorian. If disturbance number 1 becomes a huge threat, I'll be focusing on that. But again, I'm going to be focusing on Dorian this live stream because again, it's a huge threat, and a lot of people, I have a lot of viewers in the East Coast, especially the Southeast, that want to know about this. So, so here we have here we have again Hurricane Dorian. They actually refreshed this just a little bit just in case. So here we have it at 135 knots here. Again, for those people who are new here, it has weakened to a Category 4, but it's moving at 1 miles per hour to the west. So it's going to bring a huge flooding threat for the Grand Bahama Islands because the eye is actually moving a little bit more off the areas of the Bahamas. Let me get this yellow color here. So again, here we have the eye. A couple hours ago, it was over the Grand Bahamas Islands. This morning, it was wrecking these areas. Freeport, you guys will be seeing the worst of it very soon. You're getting close to the eye wall. It is continuing to move a little bit 1 mile per hour to the west. So if you guys are honestly anywhere from Fort Lauderdale or Miami wondering about this system, it's actually, you guys don't have to worry about this at all. Sigh of a relief for many of you guys out there from Fort Lauderdale. You guys do not really have to worry about this a whole lot because it's north of you guys on the latitude. Like, it's way north of you guys, so it's going to continue to move north at a very slow rate. So if any of you guys are right here wondering what's going to happen, you guys are really not going to have to worry about a whole lot there. So again, if you know anyone in Miami, Fort Lauderdale, or anyone that's concerned that's in southern Florida, like at this point in southern Florida, go ahead and let them know it's not a huge threat because again, it is continuing to move 1 miles per hour to the west, and it's already north of your latitude, so it's not going to bring in a huge threat. And if it's continuing to move north, it's going to be less of a threat. The threat is right here for Melbourne, for Merritt Island, all these areas. We have NASA, we have satellite islands out here off Florida. This is where we're going to have these huge threats as it continues to move north. And if you guys are wondering, isn't it weakening? Aren't the central pressures going up? Like, what's the big deal about this? It's moving at 1 miles per hour, guys, and we're seeing these outer bands starting to become more widespread and starting to push out here into Florida. We're going to have areas all the way to Fort Lauderdale, all the way to Orlando, starting to see these outer bands, clouds, and some light rain showers. But again, it is possibly, again, moving up the coast of Florida. It's not really looking like it's going to make a huge direct landfall. The models have been pushing these models more to the west, so that's why it's a huge threat. And we are going to see Category 1 force winds moving in these areas, so that's why we have hurricane warnings. How is a storm that strong going so slow? I know it's actually one of the reasons is because we don't have the winds gearing it anywhere. We just have it. This hurricane's so low because many of the hurricanes are they're based off winds where it pushes them. But right now, we have no winds really guiding the system where it's gonna go. So it's just off right here, sticking right here off the Bahamas, waiting for some winds to push it somewhere. So again, it is moving again. It's been moving west this whole time. But right now we just don't have no wind. It's just this hurricane's by itself right now. It's just not moving anywhere. My friend Nicole lives in Greenville, North Carolina. Oh, wow. You actually might have to let her know. I know she probably already knows about this, but you might have to let her know that it's going to be getting really, really bad for her area. I hope she knows that it's going to bring in a huge threat. I don't know if you want to. I don't know if you want to bring her in the stream because I'm going to be focusing a whole lot on the winds for Greensville. I'm going to be focusing on Greensville a lot, so I don't know if you want to let her know about the stream or just let her watch some news or something. But again, it's the thing is we're having a little wobble right here in the eye. We're seeing a little wobble right now, which is with many hurricanes, wobbles in the eye aren't really that big of that not really something to worry about. But since it's so close, the eye is so close off the Florida coast, it's such a close call. A little wobble on this type of big hurricane, so close to making devastating landfall on Florida, a wobble will actually really, really be a huge threat because if it wobbles north, that's a good sign. But it starts to wobble more to the west towards right on to Melbourne, that will be a huge threat. The governor of North Carolina has declared a state of emergency for that area. Yes, North Carolina has already issued a state of emergency, but they are doing evacuations later today. South Carolina and Florida have really been doing them. Savannah has the governor of Georgia, Kemp, was talking to Savannah a couple minutes ago about preparation. So it's not a joke. It may be another Matthew. It could be a Matthew, which is a huge threat. I really, really hope it's not a Matthew. I really don't want to see another Matthew. But again, the system's really big, very slow moving, going to bring catastrophic flooding and damaging winds. It's just a huge threat. It may be weakening, but it's moving so slow. It's such a huge threat, and it's also impressive how it's so big and so strong, but moving so slow. That's also something very surprising. Be sure to also share the stream, guys. It really means a lot. If you know anyone again in the path, this is the cone right here. So if you want to know if they're in the path right here, the cone. Let me refresh. I really don't think it's. Yeah, it's not refreshed yet. Um, but again, guys, it's gonna be a huge threat right here. So we just need to watch out just a little bit on what's to come for these areas. I think I've been live streaming for about 30 minutes. I might live stream for like another 30 minutes. Is there enough land on the Bahamas to weaken it more? It's actually really, really starting to move away from the Bahamas, but at a very slow rate right now. It's gonna be weakening a little bit more. I think it's gonna start weakening to maybe about 150 miles per hour, which is 5 miles. But it's gonna be really starting to weak. It's gonna be weakening, but it might strengthen a little bit as it goes closer to the Carolinas. I really don't think it's gonna weaken a whole lot more because again, about half of the hurricanes are already on the Atlantic, and the other half is still affecting land. And it may be very slow moving, but again, it is not. I don't think it's gonna weaken super duper a lot more. Not enough to be a Category 3, but I think it might weaken maybe 5 or 10 more miles per hour. It all depends when the system starts to speed up a little bit. It's visible on Florida's radars. Yes, it is. We are seeing these outer bands starting to affect these areas of Florida. Again, it's going to bring in very light rain showers. We've been seeing some rain showers out here for the areas of Florida. Well, in North Carolina, start the evacuations. I am not aware exactly what time. All I know is South Carolina and Georgia have been doing about 8 and 10 a.m. They've been doing evacuations. It's better if you look at weatherbug.com. So again, we are seeing the tropical storm force winds right here. On the orange, we are seeing huge threats, and it's about 120 miles. This is like a purple storm in Fortnite. But again, guys, these tropical storm force winds, they're not like, you guys need to know that they're not super close from the eye. They can become very widespread. These tropical storm force winds, they can be about 120 miles away from the eye, so we can have a lot of areas. Again, we're seeing many areas that are seeing these huge threats. I believe North Carolina is starting their evacuations. I believe the southern coast of North Carolina, I think the southern coast of North Carolina has been preparing this morning, but I think the northern part of North Carolina has yet to prepare or evacuate. Again, a lot more people in the Carolinas are taking this seriously now, as it could get a lot closer to make landfall, and I think we can have some landfall out here in North Carolina, but again, it's just have to wait. This cone for Dorian has been very iffy. It's been very complicated, so we can't say it will happen. We just need to wait just a little bit. It actually is moving west-northwest a little bit. If you look at here, the eye, it's moving west-northwest. Yeah, it is moving west-northwest, though, but at a very, very, very slow rate. But yeah, it is moving to the west-northwest towards the areas of Florida, Melbourne. You guys will have huge threats, and it's so close. It honestly looks super duper close to Florida, and it really is. It's just a super duper close call. I believe it's like isn't it like 150 miles away, the eye right now, so it's not far at all. Let's look at the winds again for these new people. How about the Outer Banks? The Outer Banks, okay, we can look at the Outer Banks. We'll be seeing actually possibly hurricane landfall. And look how close the models are right here. The closest it will be right now. We're having incredibly close landfall right now towards the Outer Banks. I really think if you're in Greensville, Wilmington, you guys will have huge threats right now. I really think they should start the evacuating right now. It's looking very likely that it will be hitting North Carolina with hurricane force winds, possibly Category 2 to 3. Let's also look at the winds for you guys. Look, again, it's looking like it could make landfall right here on the Outer Banks. It's looking very likely, very dangerous, and also very just crazy what we're seeing here. It's going to affect the Outer Banks. With possibly 101 miles per hour. We'll see just off the coast of North Carolina 120 miles per hour, but I think it might just bring in maybe Category 2 or Category 3 hurricanes. But as it continues on Friday, that's where we'll start to see a bit more stronger winds out there in the Outer Banks, and I think it goes away. But all the way to Virginia Beach, you guys will be seeing some tropical storm force winds. I'm going to be also looking at the radar here. We are seeing, again, possibly bringing in huge threats as we get closer to Florida. If you guys have any questions, also be free to ask them too. If you know any friends or family that are in the path of this, then so just be sure to share the stream too. If you have not already subscribed, be sure to subscribe. We do daily updates on this channel. And again, if you have any questions, be free to ask them. Hello, Weather Hub TV, and hey, Penguin. Again, we are going to be possibly seeing maybe an Outer Banks landfall on North Carolina on September 6th, or September 5th, and maybe September 6th right here. But again, we just have to wait a little bit right here. And just go like that right here. Again, we're going to be seeing huge threats right here for North Carolina. I really hate saying this. It's a matter of time for North Carolina. For right now, Florida, Georgia, and South Carolina, I think we have a better idea. So Florida's in the clear. Actually, not really. Southern, let me show you guys here. Let me try to go to Florida right here. There you go, right here. So, actually, parts of Florida are in the clear. If you're in western Florida, if you're inside of this box right here, let me try. If you're inside this box, I think you are in the clear. You are definitely in the clear if you're in this box. But right here, on the coastal or the eastern coast of Florida, we can actually have very huge threats. We have hurricane warnings. We're going to see Category 1 force winds for parts of Florida. As you can tell, we will be seeing possibly Category 1 force winds for sure off Florida. Again, we have hurricane warnings. Let me try to get on here for you guys can see it a bit better. But again, we have hurricane warnings for areas off Melbourne, Palm Bay, Vero Beach. We actually have some hurricane also have some high surf advisories and storm surge warnings. But yeah, we do have some huge threats with storm surge, possibly 4 to 7 feet is not looking good right now. But again, if you guys have any questions, you're so welcome. I just want everyone to be safe. So let's see. I think, again, it's going to be more like an hour stream. So we've been streaming for about 36 minutes. So I'm going to be streaming for like another 24 minutes. Again, the stream will be a lot longer if it was actually going to make a huge landfall right now. But again, I actually was debating doing a live stream right now. But I hope the live stream was better than the video. I'm hoping on doing like maybe another tropical update maybe around 4 maybe, and maybe 8 severe weather update like at 8 or 7, covering also see some severe weather. Hi Nicole, this is Brenda's friend. Thank you so much for joining. So Nicole, this is actually, I want to be focusing for you right now. So Nicole, I have a question. Are they when are the I know the southern coast of North Carolina has started preparation evacuations. May I ask when? Well, do you know when Greenville is starting these evacuations? I think the Outer Banks will have a huge threat. Greensville could definitely see Category 1 force winds. I think North Carolina would be like the only state to have a direct landfall, but obviously not super duper like right on like big money into the Raleigh. I think it's gonna be like more of a coastal landfall. But Nicole, can I ask, like, I really don't know exactly when. When is like the Greenville area doing these preparations and the evacuations? I know South Carolina and Florida have been doing them about 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. I've been watching. We will probably get strong winds Thursday night. Penguin, what state do you live in? When do you think the Outer Banks will start to have their evacuations? Obviously today, but Colin, I really don't know. That's why I'm asking Nicole. I really don't know when North Carolina will be starting. I think maybe, I would say maybe very soon. Yeah, it is becoming, Invaders filming news. It is starting to become turned to the north. I'm going to be looking at here. Again, guys, it is moving at 1 mile per hour to the west, so that's why it's a huge threat right now. It's a very strong Category 4. It's gone against weakened from Category 5 to Category 4 this morning. So the government, the governor, like, when do they have their specific times? I know people are already evacuating. Like, when are they having their mandatory evacuations, like the cities? Like, when is that? I know people are already evacuating personally, like everyone, each other. I mean, like, when do they have their times to get like specific things and all that? Like, when's that? That's what I mean. Like their mandatory evacuations. Again, yeah, it is moving to the west northwest right now. 1 mile. Let me actually update this. Yeah, it's still moving at 1 miles per hour. So that's why it is that's why it's a huge threat. Let's see. Yeah, it's still moving at 1 miles per hour. No new changes on middle or the central pressure or anything. Um. So again, it is going to be moving very slowly. Yeah, I meant like the mandatory. I know South Carolina has already been doing their mandatory evacuations all day so far. Yes, this is the latest update. It is. I've been refreshing this whole time. It's the same. It's the new refresh right now. We are again starting. I'm waiting to see. We also do have some again hurricane. I think we have these tropical storm watches possibly become a bit more widespread. Is there any disturbances we should worry about? I think I think we should have this system right here, Invest 91L. I think this will be a threat to worry about right now. But again, we have so many systems right now. The Atlantic's starting to heat up, but I really just want to focus on Dorian because I have a lot of people that live in the East Coast. Again, I have some people in Long Island, I have people in Virginia, North Carolina, and Georgia, myself. But again, if you know anyone, okay, it's fine. I just wanted to know. But Nicole, you might want to maybe evacuate. I would evacuate because I think your friend told me that you live in Greensville and you're really looking like you can actually have some possibly oops, I actually got out a tab on accident. I'm gonna need to get that back. But let me just get this tropical tidbits back out. Let me get tropical tidbits right out because I actually closed the tab. Okay, let's see. I actually got a tab out. I need to get the tracks back out because that's going to be important. Okay. Yeah, so here we have the tracks again. And this is actually just updated right now. We do have a system, possibly a area possibly hitting North Carolina. And look how close we do see these getting close to Wilmington, how close they are getting to Jacksonville, North Carolina. We have huge threats right now for North Carolina for sure, and the Carolinas. It's without a doubt we're gonna have to worry about right now. Let's see if these intensity guidance have refreshed. But again, it's a huge threat right now. But yeah, Nicole, I would actually maybe if you know any, let your neighbors know what to expect. Right now, I think Greensville could expect maybe Category 1 force winds, but obviously the more the closer to the coast you get on North Carolina, the worse you'll get, especially if you're in these little islands right here. Try to circle these right here. If you're in these little islands, you would definitely expect Category 2 force winds right now. The news say that my area in North Carolina will get tropical storm force winds with flooding. Yeah, for sure. Your area will be seeing category or tropical storm force winds. Much of North Carolina will. If you're west of Raleigh, you will expect some strong gusts, but not tropical storm force winds. Is David going to be live today? I do not know. It might be a Category 2 when it nears North Carolina. Yes, it will. It could actually be a Category 3, but when it makes land or when the winds on landfall or in the land, it will be Category 2. But it will be Category 3, and then it will start to weaken to a Category 2 right before landfall. So that's where we have that threat. You're like 40 miles east of Raleigh. Okay, so you're like right here then, right? Let me try to use my black color. You're like right here, right? Then if you are right here, you will actually be in some possibly huge threats, possibly 51 knots or something. I really hope that doesn't turn south, ramp up a Category 5, then sink Miami. That would be. It's actually marked. That actually won't happen because it's already north of Miami's latitude. And it's not going to go like this right now. It's kind of, I don't want to say impossible, but it really is impossible for it to go like that right now. And even if it did, it will be very weak because that means it'll have to go around the Bahamas again at 1 miles per hour and then hit Key West and all these areas. But it's already north. It's already north of the latitude of Miami and Fort Lauderdale. Here's the eye again. It's going to be continuing to move, so it's actually kind of impossible for that to happen. I'm kind of glad it's not going to happen, but again, we still have this huge population out here on Florida that will have to deal with this, and it's not that too good. I hope. Yes, invaders filming news. It is moving west northwest right now. I hope this live stream is helping you guys. I really hope it is. Yeah, theoretically it's 1%, but really it's so low to happen right now. But yeah, we got full tank of gas, snacks, water, and all that stuff. Great, Penguin. You are prepared. Also, let your neighbors know. Maybe people just go around your city. Maybe help people. Go if you have any elderly neighbors. Maybe check in with them a little bit to make sure they're doing okay and all that. But yeah, also again, be sure to share the stream if you have not already done so. Yeah, I'm glad it's helpful because I really was debating if I do the video or not. Let's see, we've been streaming for about 42 minutes, so again, maybe I'm going to be ending this with like maybe within the next 18 minutes. I hope that's okay. I hope an hour stream is long enough. I just want to get prepared for my next video and all that, and it's a crazy Labor Day. I got hit by a Hurricane Florence last year, and it was really bad. Yeah, Nicole, honestly, I really think maybe you should watch the news today a lot because Nicole, it's going to get really going to be a huge threat. Is Rhode Island going to get hit by Dorian? Yes, and also no. Rhode Island will be getting hit possibly by very weak tropical storm force winds. So here's going to be possibly a Category 1 system right here. So this is gonna be the eye. This is based on the NOAA. The eye is gonna be like this. So you're definitely not gonna hit by direct hit. But again, I really think we can actually have maybe again Rhode Island's like on the most outer part of the cone. So if you're in the most outer part of the cone, I really don't have to worry about right now. You live near a small pond and a small river. Okay, yeah, in Penguin, you're maybe gonna have to worry about flooding issues. I actually forgot to look at the rainfall total. Oh, I actually got the rainfall totals out too. Oh my gosh, I cannot stop getting these tabs out. Oh my gosh. Tropical tidbits right here. My house was flooded and I lost power too. You're a thoughtful young man. Thank you so much. I just hope everyone's okay. And yeah, I've never experienced a hurricane or I've experienced Tropical Storm Irma, but can I imagine what they're going through? And again, there's a lot of issues. Again, the Bahamas, and I hope everyone there is safe. And I hope also people, it's Dorian has been very complicated right now. But we just need to wait a little bit. Let me try to move this a little bit. It's gonna, I think, load it just a little bit. Okay, let's see. Hello, Ashley R. How are you doing? So yeah, we're gonna be seeing if you're saying you're like 40 miles east of Raleigh, you're gonna be seeing about maybe 5.5 inches. So that's gonna actually be huge flooding threats, and that will really bad for your area. If you live in this area, you'll be seeing possibly 7 to 10 inches in a small pond and creek. I know what that is because again, I have hills in my area and all that. Well, it's good. Nothing. I just hope I'm just live streaming, and I'm also gonna be very busy today making a video for this system. So yeah, I really hope people are safe too. So that's why. But again, if you're near Myrtle Beach, that's where we can see a whole lot of rain. I know there's like some cruise ship. There's like a cruise ship that came back from Myrtle Beach and came in Charleston. That's what I saw this morning. Or not Myrtle Beach. That was in the Bahamas. Or I think it was going to the Bahamas, but now it's not. But again, yeah, Irma was like this. Irma was like, hold on, let me do this. Irma was honestly very a strong system. It kind of went like this right now, and then it brought in tropical storm force winds from my area and all that. It was really, yeah. Greenville. Okay, so let's see if we can, let's see if they've had any new advisories or anything. Okay, yes, we have actually new advisories. We have a civil emergency message right here for South Carolina. We have a civil, what is that called? A civil emergency message for South Carolina. So that's something new right now. We actually do now have a bit more special weather statements in effect for near the Homestead area, Naples. We have some special weather statements and marine weather statements out here. Have you seen a hurricane like this before? I've actually never seen. It's fine. I'll see you. You're so welcome. See you next time. I've actually never seen a hurricane like this. I've never seen a category 5 it's a category 4, but earlier today was a category 5 and it was moving at 1 miles per hour. I've never seen a hurricane so big, moving so slow. Again, now it's a category 4, but I've never seen a hurricane like this, and I've never seen such a hurricane where it's been so unpredictable. The path the whole time has been unpredictable. When is the Bahamas in the clear? Well, we have a couple. Again, we have like more than 100 islands in the Bahamas, but we shouldn't see it clear until maybe Wednesday or Thursday. Let me try to get on the radar. Let me see the radar here. We shouldn't see the clear until maybe Wednesday. We're still gonna see plenty of rain in these Bahamas areas. So again, as we go into Wednesday, we're still gonna see plenty of rain, and we will see some wind issues. Let me see if we can look at the wind in the Bahamas. So again, we'll be still continuing to see tropical storm force wind on Wednesday in the Bahamas, but it should clear out by the eye wall and the eye should clear out by a Wednesday. So tomorrow we can still have this system barreling over the Grand Bahama Islands. I have an online pen pal who lives in the Bahamas. Oh my gosh, I hope they're okay. I really hope they're okay. I hope everyone's okay right now. But let's see. If you guys have any questions, also be free to ask. I'm also here to help. Let me get the satellite imagery right here. Wait to see if you guys have any questions. I've gone over these slides almost 4 times already. But yeah. But if you guys, if you know any family members that are in this path or anything, if it makes landfall in Florida on the off chance, would that spell destruction? If it makes landfall in Florida on the off chance, do you mean if it's gonna cause destruction? If it makes landfall in Florida, it would cause so much destruction off the East Coast from Melbourne and parts all the way to Jacksonville. We can have destruction here. First time hurricane force wind. It's gonna be very devastating. It's gonna be. There's gonna be destruction no matter what. Right now, the models here. Let me go back to the models here. Here, the models are showing again going just off the coast of Florida. But again, we're gonna have Category 1 force winds go all the way over here through these areas. So Category 1 force winds would cause maybe 2 to 3 foot storm surge. But for the area seeing Category 2 force winds there in Melbourne, we could see possibly 4 to 7 foot storm surge. So it's gonna bring destruction all the way from possibly Fort St. Lucie through Palm Bay, all the way to Daytona Beach. That's where we're gonna have destruction. Again, we have hurricane warnings for a reason, and the tropical storm force winds will stretch a whole lot. Let me get here. Tropical storm force winds will definitely stretch. As you can tell, it stretches about 120 miles away from the eye. But again, as it continues to get closer to the coast, it will bring in definitely a lot more tropical storm force winds. Why does that one model show going to Florida and looping back? Well, there's always that one model that's completely different than the others, and honestly, I really don't know. That's the TABS. There's always that one model that shows something really weird, that's completely the opposite. But yeah, Tropical Tidbits is the best site for tropical info. Yeah, it really is. It has all the model, and then we have also NOAA and all that. But again, if you guys have any questions, be free to ask. I'm hoping for this model intensity guys to possibly load or something. But yeah, we're looking at a couple things. We're looking at the tracks. We're looking at the cone. We're looking at the satellite imagery. So we're really focused right now on this system right here. Let me see. Yeah, this hasn't updated yet. This intensity guidance is not updated yet, but the tracks are. And then again, we still have this one. Was this the TABM? We still have this one model that says it's possibly going straight through Greensville, so it's still a huge threat. There are 2 major factors that are making hurricanes head north: the jet stream and the Bermuda High. And also, we have these winds that are pushing it to the west. Again, that's why it is stalling, because we don't have. Usually hurricanes, you have the winds guide it it's like a driver, and this is like the car. The driver is like the wind that guides it. So right now, since it's moving at 1 miles per hour, you don't have super strong winds going around like this. We don't have any systems or winds pushing it or putting it anywhere. So that's why it's kind of stalling. But yeah, you are completely correct. Yeah, so far Florida and South Carolina have had news conference so far. There was one in Savannah a couple minutes ago before the live stream. But yeah, I'm glad you guys are joining the stream. It's somewhat described at 1 miles per hour, Megan. But yeah, guys, we are seeing again the strong, very strong winds right here. It's still gonna be devastating the Grand Bahamas Islands until Wednesday. It's gonna be in the clear for the Bahamas. Again, they'll still be seeing plenty of rain for the days coming, but it's gonna be affecting the Bahamas, then Florida, then Georgia, and then the Carolinas. And again, especially for Greensville, you guys will be seeing a whole lot of rain. If you guys are wondering about rainfall totals, wow, no models except that one show hitting Florida 4 days ago. All said hit Florida. Very unpredictable storm. I know that's exactly why we can't assume one thing one day because they can completely change. And this one day it can completely change. So again, it's still at 922 millibars. The pressure is going up again. Earlier today was at 910. So again, central pressure is starting to go up, and the winds are going down because it's been over the Bahamas for a very long time. It's made three landfalls, and it was for a Category 5 hurricane for more than 24 hours, which is incredible. But again, it wasn't like Irma where it was like 36 hours at Category 5. So guys, if you guys have any questions, be free to ask them right now. We've been streaming for like 54 minutes. I think it's because the I think it's because of the Bermuda Triangle. Yeah, weird things happen down there in the Bermuda Triangle. So, hi Jess, how are you doing? I hope you enjoyed my fall or my winter forecast because you really were hyped up about that. I'm concerned about the storm in the Gulf. Yes, there is. I know I'm really not going to focus a whole lot, but yeah, there is a 40% chance for the next couple of days, or 2 days, and then 50% chance for the next 2 days. But yeah, I'm going to be ending this in like maybe 6 to 10 minutes. I hope this stream was long enough. I'm going to be doing another update this afternoon on a video. I hope this stream was good enough. Let me try to refresh all of these again. We have this one model. We have plenty of models showing but again, the threat is right here. It's very, very close to North Carolina, so this is the threat for North Carolina and Greensville and all that. You think it's 80%? I just refreshed it right now. Oh, you're talking about this? Oh, I thought you were talking about this one in the Gulf. Yeah, this one's 80% for the next 48 hours. I thought you were talking about the one in the Gulf, which is this. Yeah, Florida, don't let your guard down. That's exactly why one day it showed hitting Miami, Florida, Orlando as a Category 4 hurricane, and then one day it changes, and now it's possibly hitting the Carolinas, and it completely changed from devastating Florida to now missing it, but it's still going to devastate Florida with Category 2 force winds. Are you going to do any more winter updates? Yes, Jess. Don't worry. I'm going to do updates. Don't worry. I'm not going to forget about the winter updates. I know you're hyped up. It's still September, so I'm going to have plenty more winter updates. So don't worry. They're going to be coming out, but it's not going to be every day, though. My friend Nicole got hit. Danny, Earl, Irene, Arthur, Matthew, Florence, Michael in North Carolina. Wow. I bet she really. I bet you when she saw this, she really thought of Matthew. Yeah, Europeans are mostly accurate with these systems. But again, the eye is starting to move away from the Grand Bahama Islands. But again, we still have this eye wall, which is going to be bringing in wreck of Category 4 force winds. Again, guys, it's still a Category 4. Sorry if I got it wrong. It is a 40%, but yeah, a bit worrying. But yeah, it's completely fine, ash flu. Aren't there nuclear plants on the coast of Florida? I actually don't really focus on that, but I think I've heard something about where they were talking about possibly that being a threat. But yeah, I think they do have some in the Key West. I think they might have some near Melbourne. I really don't know exactly where they are. All I know is there's a couple in the Key West, I think. But I hope this was a good stream. I hope you guys got informed. I hope you guys, again, if you have any elderly neighbors or any neighbors that are not aware of this or not prepared enough, and just be glad to help. It'll be great. It might be very helpful in the end. But again, just be sure to help people out. But look, this thing's the size of the system's gonna get incredible. Look how far these tropical storm force winds will reach. This was going to be a monster. It's honestly, this hurricane's about to be the size of the southeast region. Again, it's going to get very big. Take care. It was good. Yeah, I'm glad this was a good stream. Let's see. I think I'm going to end like couple minutes now. I might just end this at 1 o'clock instead, which is 8 minutes from now, my time. So I might just end it like right at 1 o'clock instead, just to make it, we've actually already been streaming for an hour, but I might just do it for another 7 minutes, because it's 12:53. So I'm just going to end it right at 1, because I don't get why I just won't do another 7 minutes. Has North Carolina started their evacuations? Again, Colin, I really don't know. I think Nicole said something about it. Are you uploading today? Yes, I am. I'm planning on maybe in between 3 to 4, and then another update at 7 to 8 for severe weather. But yeah, for sure, double upload. I still don't know about the triple upload yet, but for sure, there's going to be a video. So stay tuned. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, guys. If you love my content, and if you think anyone else like my content, be sure to let them know to subscribe. And yeah, it really means a lot. But yeah, I hope this was a good stream. And yeah. But yeah, we're at 1,801 subscribers. So yeah, we got back to 1,800. We've actually had, again, evacuations in South Carolina. I bet you people in North Carolina are personally themselves evacuating or getting prepared, but I don't think we've had a mandatory evacuation yet. I believe North Carolina said something about the afternoon. I don't know if that was something I just heard, but all I know is that Georgia, Florida, and South Carolina have already started evacuating at 8 a.m. today, and those were mandatory. But I bet you North Carolina, they're already preparing themselves or evacuating themselves. But we have not had any mandatory evacuations that I know of yet. So I'm going to be ending this in 6 minutes, guys. I want to get a little bit of water right now. I have some water right here, so. Again, if you have not already done so, be sure to like the stream too. So let's see if I don't think we have anything new right now. Again, we're going to be possibly going a little more into the rain. If we go all the way to the next couple of days, we will be seeing maybe another couple inches after Dorian for the next coming days. But again, guys, we're going to be seeing incredibly a huge amount of rain here for the Bahamas still to come. Possibly like another 2 feet, another 2 feet for these areas. You're bigger than Derek Slot Howard's channel. Well, yeah, it's not for long. He's gonna pass me very soon, but it doesn't really matter. But yeah, here we have again these huge amounts of rain. It's gonna be deadly again. It's storm surge. It's gonna be incredibly high, possibly 7 to 8 feet still to come for areas to the Bahamas and Grand Bahamas Islands. And then again, we have 4 to 7 feet out here for Florida. Let me just refresh anything if they've come back with new information. Let's see if we have a new update. Nothing yet. Again, we have not had a whole lot of new updates right now. I wouldn't be surprised if we see some tropical storm watches starting to go into effect for Savannah or in South Carolina. Alright, guys, I'm going to be ending this in 4 minutes. So if you have any questions, be free to ask them. If you have any questions. So yeah, I'm going to be ending this in 4 minutes. So again, I know we need the message to really not to let your guard down, because again, it's going to be a huge storm no matter what. It may be weakening, but it's going to bring huge amounts of rain, and it's going to bring a lot of rain for these inland areas, all for the East Coast right here. We're going to have a huge amount of rain all the way to Virginia Beach. I got to go now. Great stream. All right, I'm glad it was a great stream. And yeah, I hope you have a great day. What areas will experience storm surge? I think I should use the satellite imagery. We'll have actually almost all of the east coast of Florida will be seeing storm surge. Let me see if I can pull up the storm surge map here. Let me see if I can pull it up. Let's see, storm surge, Hurricane Dorian. I really don't know if it's gonna, but yeah, let me see if we can pop this up anywhere, see if we can have any, I think this might be something. I really don't know if this is gonna show the storm surge areas, but again, let's see if it actually does show storm surge. Okay, but this is again showing the hurricane warnings and all that. I really don't know if it shows. Aha, here we go. Okay, so here we have these areas right now. In the orange, we have 4 to 7 feet right here. Let's see if I click this. If that will help or anything. Okay, yeah. So here we have in the orange, we have 4 to 7 feet right here. Look in the National Hurricane Center. They have it. Yeah, yeah. Thanks for letting me know, but I know the Weather Channel always shows it on their website. But yeah, all the way from Savannah to Jupiter, Florida, we'll be seeing possibly 4 to 7 feet of storm surge, and it's a low tide right now. So imagine if it was normal. And then we're also seeing 2 to 4 feet just a couple miles north of Fort Lauderdale, so for West Palm Bay. Oh, I didn't realize there's a video playing. Oopsie. Yeah, it was a lot worse, but again, we're going to see, the thing is, the rainfall totals right now. We need to keep an eye on the rainfall totals. So, guys, I hope you guys enjoy the stream. I'm going to be ending this in about 2 minutes now. So, I'm just going to be taking questions from now on until it's 1 o'clock. So, I'm just going to keep the satellite imagery on here until we're at 1 o'clock. So, again, if you want to maybe subscribe to the channel, it means a lot. Thank you guys for this. Thank you guys for joining the stream. I know a lot of you guys have been here for the whole stream, which is incredible. So yeah, again, if you guys are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. And if you want to spread the word of my channel, yeah, I'll show you guys the spaghetti. I'll show you the spaghetti models right now. I'm about to end this like a minute, guys. But here we have the spaghetti models again. It's possibly it will make. I think there's a possibility it makes landfall out here. Over here to the North Carolina area. There's a very great chance for Jacksonville, North Carolina, and Greensville. You guys can actually have possibly tropical storm the Category 1 force winds. It's very likely to stay off the coast of Florida, but again, the models have been showing it a lot closer. And then I think it should just go out into possibly, I think the threat again for North Carolina, really. But yeah, I'm about to end this, guys. So, is it possible that impacts will occur well outside the cone? Yes, before I end this, we have tropical storm force winds 120 miles away from. Oh, you meant outside the cone? There's possibility, but not really. Alright, guys, thank you guys so much for the stream. I don't know if I'm going to do another stream on this. Very unlikely, because again, I go back to school tomorrow. Only it's Labor Day today, so I don't be able to stream on the weekdays, and by the time I'm done, it's Friday. I think I might be able to stream maybe on Friday when it hits possibly North Carolina, but I really don't know, guys. I hope this stream was good enough. I hope you guys got enough information. I know this wasn't a huge, long live stream, but I just thought maybe this would be good. Pennsylvania could get a bit windy, maybe 10 to 20 miles per hour. At some points, maybe 30 miles per hour wind gusts. But yeah, hope you guys all enjoy your Labor Day. Enjoy your family and all that. And thank you guys for stopping by. And also, again, be sure to stay safe from the system and help anyone that you think needs help.